that comes down to their management team.
Yep.
They're going to implement the right management team, and this is any business in small caps that you want to invest in. And getting to know managers of different funds is hard.
Yep.
It's not publicly available knowledge, or you can look at where they worked and what they did and if they blew a company up or not. But even understanding their trajectory for the future, you can read the company reports all you want. But unless you're going out and speaking to these people, you get to really understand who they are and what they do and what they want to do. So when it comes down to assessing the management of a company, how important is it and how do you do it? Because I know you go pretty full on when you ask these questions and you start to really analyse what they're doing, and I love chatting to you about it. But so how do you do it? What do you do when you talk to management of companies?
Look, again, it's all about, I believe, sitting and asking reasonable and fair questions and seeing what the response is. This is a very different response if you ask me a question to a question where I'm happy to talk to you and explain things to you. Body language is important. But I think trying to understand, and I would argue, how do you get paid? What is your objective? And what do you think you can do? They're important questions because that will tell me where do you think the business can be, what are the opportunities, what are the risks? Because ultimately everybody has bills to pay and kids to go to school, and so people want to get paid well for what they do. So asking questions around the remuneration, how that works, what you get rewarded for. But I think it's also asking legitimate questions about their business, how they run their business, what they see as the risks, what are the opportunities. And this is stuff that and you're right, it's not that the information is non-public and it's inside information. It's information where you're helping me to understand your business better so that I can then put your business in the context of understanding the industry, understanding your competitors and seeing where the opportunities are. And I think it's important. We don't only just chat to the CEO, we chat to the CFO, which is the Chief Financial Officer. We try to chat to people further in the business. So it might be a estate manager, it might be when I go to Reece, when my wife was trying to buy a bathtub, I sat down and chatted to the lady and said, how are things, what are you doing? Like, I think Frank had a plumber come to his house, so we followed him around a little bit and asked him where he bought his stuff from. So we're always researching a company or companies we own or opportunities, because that's vital. We live investing. We also chat to boards. We chat to non-executive directors. We chat to chairmen. We chat to them with the reason of asking, how do you see the strategy versus how do you see the strategy? Is what you're telling me what you're telling me? And is there 80% commonality? And if there's 20 different here, where's the difference? And is that going to cause me a problem? Do you think you get paid fairly? Do you think you pay him fairly? Because so much of the interaction is people. Companies are just an aggregation of people trying to achieve an outcome. So you've got to remember, people have different biases. You might have a CEO who thinks, oh, I can do no wrong, I'm the best person in the world. That generally is a bit of a risk. You might have a CEO who's very quiet and understated, and she says, I think I can execute on the process, and smashes it. That's a great CEO to have, but they're probably pretty quiet and the share price might not reflect the value in that company for a period of time. So it's about understanding the people, it's about understanding the business, and it's about asking questions, which I'm really good at. Why? Why does that happen?
Because they mustn't like you when you do that.
Look, I think there's a healthy respect. I think they recognise that as an investor, we look at lots of management teams, lots of companies, lots of industries, and there's things that we can bring to a conversation when we're talking about how they're evolving their growth strategy. Quite often they'll say to me, well, what do you think? What do you think of what I've, this strategy? And I think, I think that's a fair question. It's like when I come to you and we have a talk about investments, we talk about, and you go, well, why do you own that? And I go, well, I own that for this and this reason. It's, you should always ask why.
100%. And I guess if you're investing your hard-earned money, as well as other people's hard-earned money, you really need to do due diligence to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into before you jump into bed with this person.